We are here in the interest of Carrie Degraph. We are here for a status hearing this morning. We're conducting this hearing through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and I'm recording to the Zoom cloud today as I don't have a court reporter. Let me see. Okay, Ms. Kincaid, that's fine. I'm guessing this week we're gonna have a lot of people probably logging in from San Antonio.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right, then we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Brandy McCluskey on behalf of the department. Also present in the virtual courtroom is St. Francis Permanency Specialist Hannah Kidd Ricketts. Judge, we are here on a status conference today, but I do believe we've not yet addressed the issue of paternity.
Brooks Barfield, Felina Baird present, and as is she.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Dad. He's present and we're ready.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of the child. I'm ready.
Alexi Fracassa.
Okay, so with respect to that, Ms. Kincaid, have you had an opportunity to discuss that with your client, Mr. Degraph?
I have not. Mr. Degraph, have you signed an acknowledgement of paternity at the hospital?
My name's on the birth certificate, so yeah.
Okay, but at the hospital, was there a form that you signed?
Yeah.
Okay, Judge, I can go into that more with him if need be and discuss a paternity test if we need to.
Let me put you in a breakout room real quickly just to visit with him. Let's just get that kind of addressed one way or the other.
Thank you, Judge.
I assume as the department started looking to see if there was an AOP.
We have, Your Honor. We haven't located one yet, and the legal assistant who is working on that has been on leave.
Okay.
The only document we do have is a commemorative birth certificate from the hospital, which names both Ms. Baird and Mr. Degraph.
All right. Let me, since they're together, Mr. Barfield, I just think it'd be more comfortable maybe if you and Ms. Kincaid are in there together with them. If that's agreeable to the two of you.
I'm good.
Okay.
That'll work, Judge.
All
Yeah.
right, let me put you all in a breakout room, let you discuss that with them, and then we'll just wait for you to come back.
He does not wish to have paternity testing. He wishes to be named as a father of the child.
And Your Honor, my client also is just absolutely fine with him being adjudicated as the father.
Okay, then we can take care of that today. Why don't we go ahead and hold our review hearing, and then I will include that in our ruling today.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. McCluskey, who's going to give us the update today? Ms. Ricketts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ricketts, if you want to just give us an update on what has happened since you filed your court report, that'd be great. And you're muted. You're going to have to unmute.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Since I filed the court report, both parents have started their parenting. It was a little bit difficult because their work schedule wasn't aligning with the parenting class that I had put on their family service plan, but we have found a different one that should work better with them. They have also scheduled to do their psychological on Friday. They both have stable jobs and have provided me that a pay stub showing me that. They have also found an apartment in Littlefield, and that's stable. I've looked at it, I've walked through it, and it's appropriate for them and appropriate for the child once she's placed back with them. I don't believe they have Miss Baird has started her WIN program. I do believe she's contacted Will Banks, but I don't believe she's gone to one of them yet. And they have been to every parent-child visit. They haven't missed once.
Okay, good. Visits going well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you said they found an apartment in Littlefield, so they've
Yes.
relocated to Littlefield
Yes, ma'am, they have.
and their jobs are in that area?
Yes, ma'am. I believe Lana drives a little bit for her job, but it hasn't been a big deal yet.
Okay. Does it appear that they intend to make that a more permanent arrangement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is the change in their residence, the county of their residents going to affect what services we can provide or anything of that nature?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, anything else to report?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so.
Okay, Carrie doing well?
Yes, ma'am. She's doing fantastic with her aunt. She's been learning how to walk. She's eating more. She loves playing with her older cousin, and she recently has a new baby cousin, and she loves being around them. But other than that, she's doing really good.
Okay. All right. Mr. Barfield?
Lena, do you have any questions about what you're supposed to be doing or anything that's going on at this particular time?
No, Hannah's kind of gave me everything I needed to do and kind of helped me with that.
Okay. What have you got scheduled? What have you got scheduled to start? I know she mentioned your psychological that is scheduled. What else have you gotten scheduled?
I got parenting classes every Thursday that I'm gonna be doing.
If your visits have been going good with kiddo?
Yes, very
Okay.
good.
All right. And for the record, you want an adjudication of parentage for dad today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions, will you make sure to make contact with your worker and me so that we can make sure you stay on the right track?
Yes, sir.
All right. Judge, that's all the questions I have for today.
Okay. Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Degraph, have you had a chance to look at your service plan?
I mean, I think it's as if it's the same as my wife. I don't know.
Yes. It's got a list of services with phone numbers to contact.
I haven't looked much through my email.
Okay, but do you understand that the department's asking you to work services?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and do you have any questions about the services that they're asking you to work?
No.
And you've already gotten started on some of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you have any questions regarding your services, you know to contact your caseworker or contact me.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you wish to be adjudicated as the father this morning?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Sapien?
Thank you, Judge. I copy what Miss Ricketts said, that the child is very happy and enjoying her cousins. I don't have any concerns about placement. And I don't have any questions for Miss Ricketts.
All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, Casa.
Yes, ma'am. Carrie is doing fantastic in placement. She really does enjoy being with her aunt and her cousins. The only thing that I have heard is that when she's done with visits, she does sometimes come home with a dirty diaper. But those visits, placement says that those go very well. And I have no concerns with them at this point right now.
All right, great. All right then, so Ms. Baird and Mr. DeGroff, let me talk to you real quickly about these service plans. We're in kind of a period of transition right now. The law on some of these things has changed as of September 1st. And so since your case will not go to a final hearing prior to that date, I want to admonish you under what's going to be the new law, because that's really what's going to be in effect for you all. So the service plans are very important. I mean, those are the things we're asking you to do, and not only to go through those classes, but to implement what you learn in those things and implement the suggestions made to you. So I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court today. In other words, those are going to become part of today's court order. All right, and they'll be spelled out in that. But I'm going to tell you that failure to work those services, could be used as evidence later in this case that you all have not made changes to mitigate the reasons why, the child has come into our care in the first place. Those failure to work those services could be offered as evidence that might end up restricting your parental rights and duties. Okay. So, and it can obviously affect where the child is ultimately placed and going to live. So I just want to stress to you that although failure to work your services is no longer going to be grounds to terminate your parental rights, it's still very, very, very important to the case. And it can be used to support other grounds for termination of your parental rights. So you can speak with your attorneys about that at greater length, but those are certain things that I have a requirement, to make sure you all understand. So do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to adjudicate Kirsten Degraph as the father of Carrie Degraph and establish the parent-child relationship between the two of them. As I said, order the service plan as an order of the court. And I will find that there would be a continuing danger to return the child home at this time, that parents have gotten a start on things. So that's very good. I'm encouraged. We're headed in the right direction. I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's current placement. And our next hearing will be on November 12th of 2025, and that'll be on a 1 o'clock docket. So that's a number of months away. It is absolutely entirely possible for you all to have completed your services by that time.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, then what we start looking at is getting the child home, monitoring things for a while, make sure things are going well, and then we want to get out of your lives. So, although technically you've got 12 months to get these things done, you don't have to take that long, and we don't want you to take that long. We want you to get through these things and then show us what you've learned and how you've implemented it. So, okay. Glad you all found a new place to live, and just, maintain that like it needs to be. And if you have any concerns or questions, do stay in contact with Ms. Ricketts, and do stay in contact with your attorneys. Mr. Degraph, you said something that struck me, that you don't check your email very often. I'll tell you what, while this case is going on, I think you ought to check your email at least, once a day. Because things happen in these cases, and, these attorneys may need to get in touch with you. And the department is also under some new rules about notifying you about certain things that have to do with the child. And they are now under, obligation to notify you within 24 hours of certain things that concern the child: an illness, a hospitalization, an accident, change of placement, all the things that can affect Carrie. And so if they can't reach you, or they send you an email, and you don't know for a week that the child went to the hospital, well, whose fault is that? So you need to just make a habit of checking your email every day. Okay? Because it's just important that we be able to communicate with you. All right, then, I'll see everybody back in November, and best of luck on your services. So hope we'll have really good news when we get back together. All right, thank you all so much. This is the Department of Family and Protective Services versus Celeste Samuel and Bruce Miles. We're in the interest of Zachary, Alexa, and Zendaya Miles. This is a request for court-ordered service case, and we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are also live streaming, and I am recording this to the Zoom cloud. I don't have a court reporter today, so if anybody needs a copy of this, just let us know. We'll make it available. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Good morning, Your Honor, Counsel Gene Graff and Dylan Donahue on behalf of the department, present and ready to proceed.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the mother, Celeste Samuel, Your Honor. I believe she's on, I can't see her on my screen, but I believe she's present here with Mr. Miles.
And Tracy Riley appearing for Bruce Miles. We're present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to ask Mr. Miles if you can unmute your device. I just want to confirm that that's Ms. Samuel seated with you, since we've never met.
Hi, I am Miss Samuel.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, then, Mr. Gruff, we ready to go, or we got any announcements to make? Do y'all need a breakout room? Where do we
We
stand?
may need a breakout room. I did receive communication from Ms. Lucero on behalf of the mother last night that it sounds like there was an agreement. I have not heard from Ms. Riley as to her client's position. So unless something's changed, probably a breakout room would be good just to see where everybody's at.
Okay, let me just set the attorneys up real quick, let you all visit, and then I can move you around into different rooms if you need that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Judge Baker, sounds like the parties are in agreement. The only request that the parents have is that any and all services that they may be able to participate in virtually would be their request, just because their resources and so forth. I don't know that will be an impediment. I know that today that's much more common, and that's something they can work with FBSS on.
Okay, we lost Ms. Riley for just a minute.
I'm sorry, Judge. I left the meeting instead of the room. I apologize.
It's okay. Happens all the time. Jane,
Ms.
if you want to just back up and just kind of say
Yes,
that again.
ma'am. Ms. Riley, I just announced that we do have an agreement that the parents were requesting that any and all services that they may participate in virtually, that would be a request. The state doesn't have an objection to that. Obviously, that's something that when they meet with FBSS, they can kind of work out. So I'm not anticipating any issues with that, but certainly we can address those as if they were to arise.
Okay, but this won't affect as far as department being in and out of the home and that kind of thing.
Right. Obviously, anything hands-on in the home, I presume, will not be objectionable by either party.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that they understand that's part of what we're going to do over the next several months, and that there will be people coming in to meet with them in the home and do certain things in the home. Okay, Ms. Riley, your client, you think understands that, and Ms. Lucero?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe so.
Okay, then Ms. Lucero, does this sound like what you and your client have agreed to?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and then Ms. Zavala is the children's ad litem.
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe that this agreement would be in the children's best interest. I did want to let the parents know that I'm one of those people that's going to have to contact you and come out to the home to meet the kids. So my assistant Kelly will be calling to do that in the future.
Okay, so, yeah, it's really important. Do you all understand Ms. Zavala's role? She is your children's attorney.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So she not only has the right to, but she has the obligation to talk with the children on a periodic basis and to see them. She can see them in the home, understand the school-age children. She could go to school and see them there. You know, there's different ways of handling it. She may ask you to come to the office, to her office and bring the children up there. So, but you need to be sure that when they contact you, that you respond to their calls as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Anybody have any questions about what services the department is requesting?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Based on something that I've read in the affidavit that was presented to me, let me just ask you all about your current housing situation. I read that potentially you were going to be evicted. Is that still the case? Have you located different housing?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm supposed to be living with my excuse me. Supposed to be living with my my mother's apartment. I don't know what the name of the apartment is, but I'll be telling the CPS all that stuff too, though, ma'am.
Okay.
What's the name of that?
So you're in the process of making arrangements for
Yes,
alternative.
ma'am. Right now, I pay my rent. I want to know if I just talk to them people anyways. For like the town park, I already paid those people. Hopefully, they just give me lenient here real fast.
Okay, but you are not going to be without housing.
No,
or
ma'am.
anything. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Then I will approve the agreement that's been reached, and we will order Ms. Samuel and Mr. Miles to participate in services as have been outlined. And I will see everybody back October 7th for what we call a compliance hearing. So to the parents, what that is kind of a check-in hearing. We're going to see how things are going, and they're going to report what services you've completed, what services you're working on, what your housing situation is, employment situation, all of those things. So it'll just be kind of we'll get back together like this. We'll check in, see how things are going. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So that'll be October 7th, and that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. They'll make sure you know what time to log in.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I had a quick question. If Mr. Donahue, I don't know if he's going to remain on the case, but if whenever they find out who the worker is going to be going forward, if they could email me and give me that contact information to me and Miss Riley, I'd appreciate it.
We'll make sure you have that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then, yeah, Ms. Samuel, Mr. Miles, just be sure you keep these folks informed about where you're living. If you have any change of phone numbers, anything like that, they need to know that so that they can reach you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you all appearing today, and I'll sign an order when they get that over to me, and I'll see you back in October.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm back for the 10 a.m. I'm just going to log out for now, or just go on, not log out, but mute myself and go off video until 10.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll just keep everything here, sitting here in the background.
Thank you.
And parents, you all are free to go.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the Department of Family and Protective Services versus Marissa Luera. We are here today in the interest of Randy Morgan, Alida Chavez, Zane Sabalas, and Amia Sabalas. We are appearing on a request for court-ordered services today. We are conducting this through Zoom.
State calls Vanessa Morgan, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Morgan, if you'll unmute for me and raise your right hand. It will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I see that you are in a vehicle or appears to be in a vehicle.
Yeah, because I'm at work.
Okay, you're not driving.
No.
Okay. All right. And is anybody else present in the vehicle with you?
No.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Mr. Groff, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Morgan, for being here this morning. I don't plan to keep you long since you're at work, but I do have a few questions about the case for you. Are you acquainted with Marissa Luera and Randy Morgan Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. And how are you acquainted with Ms. Luera?
Miss Luera, she has a baby with my husband.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to visit with or otherwise observe Ms. Luera with the baby?
Yes.
And so we're clear, the baby is Randy Morgan Jr., is that right?
Randy Morgan, yes.
Okay.
I don't think
Randy
he's a
Morgan.
junior, but
Okay, thank you. And how old is the baby approximately, if you know?
2 months.
Okay. And how often have you had an opportunity to visit with Ms. Lara and the baby approximately?
Probably 4 times.
Okay. And is that typically when your husband gets to visit the baby, you accompany him?
Yes.
Okay. And when does Randy, your husband, get to see the baby?
When she allows him to.
Okay. Is there anything, is that a frequent occurrence, an occasional occurrence?
Occasionally.
Okay. And what have been the circumstances under which you and Randy have been able to see the baby?
Whenever she allows him to, when she's drinking.
Okay. And has that been of concern to you?
Yes.
Okay. And did you, on any of the occasions where you visited and observed Ms. Lara with the baby, did you ever have a reason to take photographs or video of her with the baby?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we filed 4 video exhibits. They're very brief clips. I wonder if it's possible to show them to Ms. Morgan.
All right, real quick question. Hang on real quickly. Ms. Lara, you've got video. I need you to turn your video on and remain on video for this hearing. All right, thank you. Okay, Miss Katie was forwarding these exhibits. All right, so we've got petitioners exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4. Appear all to be video clips.
Yeah, and they're like a couple seconds long each, so they're very brief.
Okay, are you offering those at this time?
I am. I was going to have the witness identify them first before I offered them.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll see if we admit or not. Do you need Ms. Moore? Do you have some more questions for Ms. Morgan?
Yeah,
Identifying them?
Ms. Morgan, did you take the 4 video clips that are in my client's possession?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you take those video clips? Was that by phone or camera?
Yes, by my phone. I recorded from my phone.
And to your knowledge, were there any changes, deletions, or alterations made to those videos?
No.
Okay. And who is actually in the videos?
Marissa, the baby Randy, and maybe a few parts of Big Randy.
Okay. And are they fair and accurate records of what you took with your phone on that occasion?
Yes.
Okay. And when were they taken?
June 13th
Okay.
at like 5 in the morning.
Okay. And what was the circumstances in which you took those videos? What was happening?
She was intoxicated, holding the baby, not holding the baby well.
Okay. And was that one of the 4 times that you and Father Randy had attended visitation?
Yes.
Okay. And would you say that that was kind of a party setting?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. And did you observe Mother to be drinking at that event?
Yes.
Okay. What was she drinking?
Crown.
Okay. And is that consistent with the other times that you visited the baby?
Yes.
Okay, because you had previously testified that she would only allow Randy, the dad, to see the baby when she was herself drinking. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what were your concerns? Why were you concerned such that you took those video clips that you took?
Just took them just to show her like how she was acting and what she was doing.
Okay. And the baby, you said, is at that time was how old?
Probably 6 weeks.
Okay. Did she appear to be properly supporting the baby?
No.
Okay. And do you know how much she had been drinking that evening?
I don't. I'm not sure. Quite a
Okay.
bit.
Okay. And were there any other time? Well, you already testified that this was consistent with the other 3 times that you visited.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, no further questions, Your Honor. I will move to admit those videos have been shared with counsel.
All right, any objection, counsel?
No objection.
All right, then.
Pass the witness at
Yes.
this time, Your Honor.
Okay, petitioners exhibit 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be admitted.
Thank you.
All right, and Ms. Archer, any questions for Ms. Morgan?
Yes. Did you say you're married to Randy?
Yes.
So you're the new wife?
I'm not new. I've been his wife.
Okay. And how you said the pictures were taken around 5 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
When did you arrive?
Probably 3.
Okay.
2 or 3.
So is it possible that the mom invites y'all over when she's drinking to help safeguard the baby?
I'm not sure.
You said it was a party setting. Who all was there again? You, Randy, who else?
Marissa.
Anyone else?
No, but her husband came in, grabbed some beer, and left.
So is it more like a visitation than a party?
Yeah, pretty much a visitation. Well, it was like a party setting. She was drinking, but it could be called a visitation.
Do you have a contentious relationship with Marissa?
No, I tried. We try to be civil.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Zavala?
I guess I'm a little confused. So at 2 in the morning, Marissa called and invited y'all over?
Yes.
Is that a normal thing
She has a couple of times.
at 2 in the morning?
That's when she calls and invites Randy over to see the baby.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Ms. Morgan, does he work at night?
Yes. He works at nights. He works overnights. He
But
doesn't live in Amarillo. He lives in Dallas. He was just here.
We're talking about your husband.
Yes.
Okay, so when he was here, then he wasn't working.
Right.
Okay, but is that just his schedule? He's used to being up late at night?
Yes.
Okay, and typically sleeps during the daytime?
Yes.
All right, okay. What about you? Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what are your hours at work?
I work during the day.
Okay.
I work 7 to 7. But it was the weekend.
And well, never mind. I'll leave it at that. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Groff, any further questions of this witness?
No further questions of this witness, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Archer, any further questions?
Yes, just one or two. When you were there at the house, was the baby clothed?
Yes.
Did you ever see Marissa feed the baby?
Yes.
Was the baby crying?
No.
No further questions.
All right, Ms. Vala, any further questions?
I don't think of this witness.
Okay. All right then, Mr. Groff, you have any additional witnesses to call?
Yes, Your Honor. Casey Wall.
All right, Ms. Wall, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Wall, who are you employed by?
The Department of Family and Protective Services.
What is your role with DFPS?
I'm a child protective investigator.
Okay. How long have you been there?
About 10 months.
Okay. And what is your education and training for your position as a CPS investigator?
I did complete the extensive department training to be an investigator, and then I have done a significant amount of career development training since being out of our basic trainings.
Okay. And you're familiar with the family of Marissa Luera?
Yes.
How so?
I was assigned to investigate the case that came in on the family.
Okay. When were you assigned?
I was assigned to the case on June 13th of 2025.
Okay. And what were the allegations at the time that you were assigned?
There was concerns that Marissa Luera was intoxicated while caring for the children, that she used cocaine and drank heavily very often, and that she would leave her children alone for hours at a time.
Okay. And what did you do to investigate the case?
I made contact with Miss Luera, the children, and the fathers as well.
Okay. And what did you learn about the family during the course of your investigation?
I learned that the children were often left to kind of their own thing. Amia cared for the 4-year-old Aleda and would prepare her for bed very often. The children were allowed to go swimming at the apartment pool by themselves. Miss Luera would slap the children in the face when they were in trouble and whip them on the butt with a belt. And that she drank twisted tea very often, and that there was a domestic incident where the father, Randy, was slapped by Miss Luera after punching her cousin.
And just so we're clear, we mainly have talked about the baby, Randy. Can you just, and you mentioned the names of the other kiddos, can you give their ages just so the court is clear on the children in this case?
Amia Ceballos is 13 years old. She's the oldest. Zane Ceballos is 8 years old. Aleda Chavez is 4. And then Randy is about 2 months old.
Okay. And you said you did have contact with Miss Luera. How often did you speak with her?
My HST would visit her weekly. I would speak with her in the beginning a lot more frequently, and then the last few weeks I contacted her more frequently as well.
Okay, just for the record, what is an HST?
Our human service technician, they help us. We see babies weekly, so she would go check in to help me with my caseload.
Okay. And were you yourself able to observe the family home at any time during your
Yes, on my
investigation?
initial visit, I did do a walkthrough of the home.
Okay. And what were your observations in the home?
I did observe a case of twisted tea in the refrigerator when I was there.
Okay. And were the conditions of the home otherwise appropriate?
The home was clean. The kids had beds that were appropriate. I didn't have concerns with the conditions of the home.
Okay. Did you review any documentary materials as part of your investigation?
I did review the videos that were sent of Miss Luera that Vanessa had talked about. There was some photos of her that same night drinking alcohol and twisted teas and liquor and taking shots.
Okay. And did your review of documentary materials tend to rule out, confirm, or raise additional concerns in terms of your investigation?
It definitely raised more concerns with how she was acting in the video, slurring her speech and kind of swaying while holding, just kind of letting the baby lay over her lap. His head was kind of leaning back over her legs and his arms and legs were dangling as well. So that raised a lot of concerns because he is so young, being, I think, maybe a little less than 2 months old at the time. He was like 1.5 months old when those videos were taken, and babies like that need to have proper support.
Sure. And did you attempt to work out a safety plan, or at least well, actually strike that before I get to that question. Did you address your concerns with Ms. Luera, and if so, was she receptive?
I did address the concerns after I had received and seen all the videos and photos and things. I went to and spoke with her. She was not receptive. At first, she denied any of it happening. And then I brought up that I had received more kind of evidence of it. And that's when we began to talk about services. She did during that time state like expletives that this was bull, basically, and that, she hadn't done anything. So she wasn't super receptive when I was talking with her.
Okay. But did you, during those conversations, attempt to work out a safety plan with her?
Yes, we were talking about trying to find a appropriate safety plan monitor that could be there for like 24/7 supervision. And during that time is when she became uncooperative and elected to use her Fourth Amendment to get an attorney. So at that point, I did leave the home.
Okay. Any other aspects of your investigation that we haven't talked about that addressed any of the concerns or any additional concerns that you may have uncovered during your investigation?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Based on the conversations you've had with the mother, the documentary evidence that you reviewed, as a result of the mother's acts or failures to act, do you feel that any of the children were abused, neglected, or placed at substantial risk of abuse or neglect, or otherwise placed in substantial danger to his or her physical health or safety?
I do believe the children are put at a substantial risk of abuse or neglect, especially the younger ones. The older ones do have the ability to self-protect, but when it comes to the baby and even the 4-year-old, they don't have those capacities. So I believe they are at a very substantial risk.
Okay, and specifically, what is it about mother's behavior that causes them to be at risk?
The excessive drinking, when we drink that much, our faculties are not where they need to be to care for especially a young baby. And it was shown in the videos that she could not properly hold the child while in that state.
And what else besides the drinking?
Her leaving the children alone with the oldest to take care of them, and her excessive discipline with the kids is not appropriate, and that puts them at risk for physical abuse. And then allowing them to go to the pool by themselves put them at risk of, that would be neglect, but at the point they could drown, and something awful could happen, and we don't, of course, don't want that.
Is there a lifeguard at the pool, if you're aware?
No, it is an apartment pool. I'm not aware of any lifeguard that is hired to be on duty there.
Okay, so they're basically unattended.
Yes.
Okay. And when you talked with the mother about that particular issue, what was her response?
She stated that she lets him go to the pool, but she can see the apartment pool from her apartment window. So she's able to look out and see him and then see if there's other people there and things like that.
Okay. Did you explore with her the concerns about a lag, seeing someone from an apartment window versus getting to the pool if there was an emergency?
Yes, I did talk about, not being able to get there quick enough and you can drown very quickly. And she stated that Zane is able to swim.
Have you identified, have you identified any reasonably available services that can address the concerns you've identified and can mitigate the danger, such that the children can be safely remain in her care?
Yes, I think a family-based safety service, family assessment is the main thing we can do. They're very good about identifying the services to help the family the most. There could also be an OSAR screening, parenting classes as well.
Okay. So you're not asking for removal at this time. You're just wanting to have some remedial services to just mitigate the risk. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that those services that have been identified are necessary to ensure the physical health and safety of the children, particularly the younger two?
Yes.
Okay. And I think you just identified a list of services that would be that would help mitigate those risks. So I have no further questions. I pass the witness at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Archer.
Ms. Wall, how many times have you been out to the home of Miss Luera?
I couldn't give you an exact number. I didn't go count all my contacts, but I've been out to the home a handful of times.
Were you ever there when Miss Luera wasn't there taking care of the kids herself?
No, Miss Luera was always at the home when I made contact with her.
And did she always let you in?
Yes.
Okay. And did she have plenty of food in the home?
The fridge appeared to have food in the home, yes.
Okay. And you mentioned there being Texas tea in the home, but that's not illegal for her, right?
No, ma'am. Having the twisted tea is not illegal. I think it adds to the other things as well.
And did any of the other kids make any outcries to you about abuse?
Yes, Zane did talk to me about all of these things that I've testified to so far.
Okay. And did you ever see any, you mentioned him being spanked, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever see any kind of bruises on him?
The spankings did not lead to bruises, as far as I am aware.
And parents are allowed to spank their kids, correct? If it's reasonable.
Yes, if it's reasonable, they are.
When on the night in question of this, when Dad came to make his visit to the new baby, are you aware if the other kids were asleep or not?
I am not aware of where or what the other children were doing. I'm only aware that you could see Randy in the video, so I do not know where the other children were.
And when you mentioned, when you asked Miss Luera to drug screen, or did you ask Miss Luera to drug screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was that negative?
Yes, for the cocaine was negative.
Okay. Did that alleviate your concern of those allegations?
It did help with the concerns for the cocaine use, yes.
Do you have any reason from you being in the home or you interviewing these parties to think that there was some kind of custody or contentious battle going on between Dad and Mom?
When I was interviewing them, no, I attempted to interview the father, Randy, and I made limited contact with him, but he would never allow me to fully interview him. So I'm unsure of anything that he might have to say about custody with the baby. Marissa didn't talk much about that with me.
And did you see the pictures of Miss Luera holding the baby or the video?
Yes, I did see the video.
Okay. And was the baby crying?
The baby was not crying.
Okay. And there were other people around to help, correct? They thought she needed help.
Vanessa and Randy were in the home, and but they did leave, so they were not there the entire time. So after they left, Miss Ware was alone with the child at least.
Okay. And the baby was asleep during that video, correct?
He appeared like he could be asleep.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Zavala?
Miss Wall, it sounds like maybe, well, was mom cooperating up until the time when she was told she had to have 24-hour supervision?
Yes, she was cooperative until then.
Okay. And if I understand correctly, the services being asked for today, that does not include 24-hour supervision.
The safety plan is not included in the FBSS, but a safety plan is something that we normally put in place for those things when a danger indicator pops up.
So do you believe that some of these things could be addressed with something short of 24-hour supervision?
I believe the 24-hour supervision is necessary until she addresses the issue, because without the supervision, she could be putting the children at danger until we address and get her working with services. But once that happens, I don't believe the 24-hour supervision is necessary.
The domestic violence that Zane talked to you about, was that a one-time thing, or did he talk about that being multiple times?
He only spoke to me about the recent incident that happened right before the report. That's the only one that we spoke about, because he kind of told me the story and walked me through that one.
And what happened with that?
Randy, the father, had come to the home, and an altercation kind of ensued between Marissa, Randy, and her cousin Anissa, from what I understand. Things got physical. Zane called his father and had his father on FaceTime, and Adam Ceballos is his father. He came to get Zane with what was going on with the altercation. He came to pick him up.
Were the other children present?
The baby was present, and I believe Aleda was present. Amia was not present. She was at her father Zane's home at the time.
She and Zane have the same father?
Yes.
How about Aleda? Is that how you say it?
Yes. Aleda's father is Ishmael Chavez, which is, I believe, Marissa's husband.
You said things got physical.
Mm-hmm.
What does that
from
mean?
What I have, Randy punched Anissa, and then Marissa slapped Randy in kind of response to that.
So Randy was the aggressor.
I do believe, from what information I have, that Randy would be the aggressor in that situation.
And then Aleda is 4?
Yes.
What did mom say about her going to the pool without her present?
The only child that really spoke about going to the pool and that I addressed with her was Zane. Zane was the one who had talked about going to the pool. And Marissa, that's who I addressed it with, was that Zane was going to the pool by himself, and that's who we talked about. So I don't know if Aleda goes to the pool by herself. I cannot testify on that.
Okay, so Zane just said he goes to the pool by himself.
Yes, he did identify that he goes down to the pool.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Groff.
Just a
any
couple of quick
questions?
follow-ups for clarification, Your Honor, please.
And let me just ask real quickly, Ms. Morgan is still with us. Did the department, were you hanging on to her? She's
She
at
can be
work?
excused or she can stay. It's her choice. I don't anticipate recalling her.
Okay, Ms. Morgan, that's up to you. If you need to get back to work, you can certainly log out this time. If you know, it's just up to you whether you want to stay or you want to go.
Okay, I'll just stay.
Okay. All right. Mr. Groff, you can go ahead with your follow-up questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Wall, Ms. Archer was asking you about your visits to meet with her client. I just had a question whether those were all drop-in or pre-scheduled visits.
Most of them were somewhat scheduled. I usually would give Miss Luera a call because on the times that there was a few times I would go by the home and knock on the door and I would not get an answer. Like no one was home or maybe they were sleeping. So I would usually have to call her after that and then schedule kind of an appointment later that day.
Got it. Okay. And with regard to Zane being unattended at the pool, Ms. Zavala was just asking you about that. Marissa essentially confirmed that he was allowed to go to the pool by himself, correct?
Yes, because she talked about that she would watch him through the window.
Okay. And then you said that she did do a single drug screen for you that was clean for cocaine. Do you recall when that drug screen was?
Oh, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head exactly what day the drug screen was. It was probably 2 or 3 weeks maybe 2 weeks into the case. And I asked her to go screen on a Monday, and then Tuesday she actually went and screened.
Okay, so you got the case in June 13th, and then so by the end of June, maybe beginning of July, somewhere in that ballpark.
I believe so.
Okay, and that was was that a hair test or a UA?
It was a urine.
Okay, thank you. And are you aware how long cocaine is detectable in urine?
Roughly 2 days. I would double check and confirm that, but I believe it's about 2 days.
Okay, might it be as much as 5?
It could be, I suppose.
Okay. And then counsel asked you also about whether or not children other than Randy were present during these nighttime visits / parties that we've been discussing. Did you review any other documentation during your investigation to suggest the presence of any of the other children during any of those late night visits?
I did receive a Facebook story video that Marissa Luera had posted. In that video, there's multiple people standing in the apartment. You can see Vanessa and Randy trying to leave the apartment. And in the video, because I kind of went frame by frame through it, you can see a young child who looks like Aleda kind of standing between the legs of 2 men. If you go through it and kind of pause it, so you can see there's a child standing there during that as well. And that, I believe, happened this past weekend.
Okay. And Your Honor, I'll make an offer of proof. I have a copy of the video. My assistant was not able to get that uploaded and circulated yesterday, but again, I'll make an offer of proof on that. I do have that video. Just 2 more questions. Counsel was also asking you about your contacts with the father, Randy, but we heard testimony that he actually lives down in Dallas during the week or generally. Is it fair to say that you've had more contact with Vanessa because she's local and also because of his work schedule?
Yes, contacting Randy, I had to do it by phone, of course. Vanessa has been much more active in talking with me, and sitting down on the phone when I need to discuss things with her. So I do have more contact with her.
It sounds like she's more available during business hours just because he works a
Yes.
night shift. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then just to clarify, Ms. Zavala asked you about the 24/7 supervision issue. Is it fair to say that mom's participation in service would mitigate that as an ongoing issue based on what you know today?
Yeah, if she gets in services and starts addressing these issues, it would mitigate the need for it.
Okay. And you understand that the court's limited to in an OTP case in terms of what it can order in terms of supervision?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Archer?
I have no further questions of this witness.
Ms. Zavala?
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Groff, any further witnesses today?
No, Your Honor, the state rests at this time.
Okay, Ms. Archer?
Judge, I'd like to call my client, Marissa Luera.
Okay. Ms. Luera, if you will, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may proceed.
Miss Luera, just to clarify, how many kids do you have in your home?
4.
Okay. And do you work outside the home?
Since I had my baby, I haven't worked.
Okay. And so you've been there all summer?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have transportation?
Yes, ma'am.
And is feeding those kiddos a concern of yours, or do you have a way to provide for them?
Oh, I don't have any concerns. I've been a mother for almost 14 years, and I've been taking care of my kids by myself.
And do you get child support?
Now I do. Yes, ma'am.
So you have some other income coming in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when the department or when CPS approached you, you were willing to help them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you
I was always cooperative.
And you let them in your house, right?
Correct.
And did you go drug test for them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so on this night in question that's on the video, what kind of gathering was this?
I was actually already laying down, and Vanessa Morgan was asking me what I was doing, if I was home, and if they could come over, and she wanted to see the baby.
And how often do you let Dad see the baby?
He hadn't really been asking for him. I think Vanessa would ask to see him more than he would. And that particular night, they had been fighting and drinking, and she asked me if they could come over.
Objection, lack of foundation.
Sustain.
How would you describe your relationship with Vanessa Morgan?
I didn't really know her. I didn't know that Randy was married to her. I had a baby with him, and then later on I found out, that he was married, and I tried to be civil because he said that he was going, to get back with her. So I tried to co-parent and be civil. But that just didn't work out.
Were your other kids awake that night, on the night of the video?
No.
Okay. Have you put them to bed?
My kids were actually at a sleepover, so they weren't here.
Are your other kids current on all their vaccinations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you take them to the doctor routinely?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had a chance to read the petition in this case?
I have.
Did you see the part alleging your older daughter had UTIs?
It was the 4-year-old that they're alleging that.
Has she ever had a UTI?
No, ma'am.
Do you leave your kids alone to be babysat by your oldest daughter?
If I have to run to the Dollar General down the street, I've left her home alone with Zane, but the younger two, I've never left them with her.
And how old is your oldest daughter?
She's 13.
Okay. And how old is Zane?
He's 8.
Does Zane know how to swim?
Yes, he does.
Why do you feel like these allegations are being made against you?
It's clear to me, it's basically Vanessa is upset about her husband having a baby with someone else. So it's basically bitterness, and my children are the only way for these people to get back at me because I am a good mother.
So were you a little bit worried when she texted you she wanted to come over?
Not really, because during that time, like I said, I was trying to get along and co-parent, but like I said, that just wasn't going to happen. So
there was prior testimony that Anicia Garcia was there that night. Is that right?
She was here.
Why was she in the house?
I had asked her to come over.
Okay, why did you do that?
Just because I didn't trust, I pretty much trust. I don't trust Vanessa and Randy.
Is that the only people in the house then?
Yes.
Who was in the house at that party?
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a party, but it was just me and my baby at the time.
Okay. And then Vanessa, Randy, and Anicia were the guests.
Yes.
And is Anicia related to you?
Yes.
So essentially you had family over.
Yes, ma'am.
And did your drug test come out negative?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like your children are safe with you?
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like it would be in their best interest to remain in your house and you just keep doing what you've been doing?
Yes, I mean, my kids are safe with me. They always have been.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Groff.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Luera, when was the last time you used cocaine?
I haven't used any cocaine.
Ever?
No.
Okay. You said that you were trying to be civil to Vanessa and to Randy. Isn't it fair to say that Vanessa has also been civil with you?
No, calling CPS is not civil with me.
Okay. So I understand you have a grievance about that, but you did allow her to come over at least 4 times to see the baby, correct?
It was probably just about 3 times.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time?
The night that she's stating that I had a party here.
The 13th of June?
I guess so.
Okay. Now you say the kids were present. The kids were not present, but there was there were kids present during the Facebook video you posted this weekend, right?
That was not the same weekend.
Okay, what weekend was that video from?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, was it after June 13th?
I believe so.
Okay, so they were over there after the video.
Randy was here. Vanessa walked into my house and dragged him out.
Okay, and there were kids present during that video, though, weren't there?
Yes.
Okay. Were all your kids home that night, or just which ones were there?
Just my 4-year-old and my baby.
Okay. And you understand the importance of supporting a baby's head and neck, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you've seen the videos that are in question that Vanessa supplied, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And is it your testimony that that you were appropriately supporting the baby's head and neck in those videos?
I mean, he was laying on my across my legs and I had him in my arms.
Okay. And how much had you had to drink that night?
I had only had one shot of Crown and
Okay.
one twisted tea.
Okay. And remember what time during the evening that was?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you agree that video was taken at around 5 a.m.?
Probably so.
Okay. How often do you drink?
Usually just on the weekends sometimes.
Okay. And do you usually drink Crown and twisted tea?
Sometimes.
Do you ever drink to excess?
No.
Okay. When was the last time you were intoxicated from drinking?
To be intoxicated probably before I had my last baby.
And how much would you say does it take for you to drink where you feel intoxicated?
Maybe about 6 drinks.
Okay. All right. And so you believe that the reason CPS is involved because Vanessa essentially made a malicious referral about you to CPS. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you deny the outcries that your son made when Ms. Wall interviewed him?
Which outcries?
Well, outcries about lack of supervision, belt whipping, Amaya having to care for Aleda, Marissa hitting Randy after he punched your cousin, those things.
I never put my hands on Randy.
Okay. But
I have spanked my kids with the belt before.
okay.
Not I really don't discipline my kids like that very often.
So why would your son tell the social worker that? I mean, Vanessa didn't put him up to it, right?
Tell them that I spanked him with the belt?
All the things that I just went over with you and that the social worker testified to.
So I did let my son go to the pool a few times because my neighbor goes out there. So I did because I had just had my baby and I couldn't go out there. I had a C-section.
Mm-hmm. So you're
So
saying,
yes.
so you're saying
So
it
yes.
just happened. Yes.
A couple of times he did go out there by himself. I could see from my back porch and my neighbor was out there.
Okay.
I couldn't go out there because I had just had a C-section.
Your neighbor was out where?
At the pool.
Watching other children?
Watching her kids, and she always watches my son as well.
How many children does she have?
4.
So she was watching 5 children.
Her and her boyfriend. Yes.
You didn't tell the social worker that, though, when the social worker talked to you.
I did. I did tell her that.
Okay, that wasn't her testimony, though, was it?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. No further questions. Pass the witness.
Ms. Archer, any further questions?
Not of Ms. Luera.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have any other questions?
Just a handful. Whenever Zane went to the pool, is it Aledia? How do you say her name?
Aleda.
Aleda. Okay. Was Aleda with him?
No, ma'am. She doesn't know how to swim, so I don't let her out there.
I believe the Red Cross may offer just some online water safety classes. Would you be willing to do something like that if asked?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that there are a number of situations that even a child who knows how to swim may encounter danger at a pool?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it safe to say that visiting with Randy and others at 2 a.m. is probably not the best idea?
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
Do you think visitations with a child and parent should maybe be at more regular times?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you agree that this is kind of a volatile situation with a lot of potentially hurt personalities, hurt feelings?
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you add late nights and alcohol into the mix, that can create a whole lot of feelings.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think part of these concerns could be addressed by having those visitations at a more traditional time and place?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness.
All right, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Lara?
No, Your Honor.
I have a follow-up. Miss Luera, just to clarify, Vanessa Morgan reached out to you to come over that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Archer, did you have any additional witnesses to call today?
Is Anicia Garcia in the waiting room?
No. Do you need to make a phone call?
Yes, because she was there that night. Marissa may know. Marissa, were you able to reach her?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Okay. Then no, Judge, I just have argument.
Okay, all right. So do you rest?
Yes, I'm sorry, I rest.
No, it's no problem. All right, Ms. Zavala, any witnesses to call today?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, just a recommendation today. Okay,
Yes.
before I take that, I want to take just a couple of minutes. I have not reviewed exhibits 1 through 4. I don't look at exhibits prior to them being admitted in hearings. So, since we did not tender those or play those during this hearing, I am going to take just a couple minutes and take a quick look at those. So everybody give me just a few minutes. I'm going to order that mom participate in services as requested, but I'm going to add some things to that. Before I get into all of that, I want to address Ms. Lara. Ms. Lara?
Yes, ma'am.
I am way less concerned about what I saw in these video clips than the testimony that's revealed itself today about at least one child going out to the swimming pool. I'm going to preface this by saying, you know, in my world, that's grounds to legally remove children from your care when you allow a child that age to go out to a pool. I don't care who you've asked to keep an eye out or anything else, but that constitutes the kind of neglect that I remove children from their homes from parents. So make no mistake, the fact that I'm going to ask you to work some services and I'm going to order, I'm not asking, I'm ordering. Today is your lucky day. But I'm going to tell you a couple of things. Do you know how
Yes.
fast a child can drown?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you? Tell me. Because I do. How fast can a child drown?
I mean, my son, he knows how to swim.
No. That's not the question. People who are proficient, excellent swimmers drown every day, Ms. Luera. How fast can a child drown?
I'm not sure.
Why did you tell me you knew?
Well, I mean, I know that that could happen, but
Do you know how quickly it can happen? And your answer is no. So I'd already looked up the Red Cross classes before Ms. Zavala asked you. You are going to take a water safety for parents and caregivers through the Red Cross. There's no cost to it. It is a virtual class. I suggest you watch it maybe a couple of times. All right,
Yes,
I'm going to
ma'am.
give you the answer, and then I suggest if you've got a computer, you get on and do some hard research. Children can drown in seconds. Not minutes, seconds. What do children do when they're drowning? Do you know?
They, I guess, they struggle to get out, I guess.
Do you think they flail and try to get out of the water and call for help?
Yes.
Is that what you think?
I think so.
Okay, totally opposite. Their lungs fill up with water. They're physiologically incapable of calling out for help. It is an involuntary response that their arms push down against the water to try to raise their heads out of the water. They will not raise their arms to wave for help. They do not flail in the water like you see on television. They go straight to the bottom, where often no one sees them because they sink like a rock and they're very quiet. It is a silent, silent killer. And this is why parents turn up in emergency rooms with brain dead children and say, I turned my back for a minute. I was not turned around more than a minute. I turned around to answer my phone. And when I turned back around, I didn't see little Susie. So I started looking for her. And little Susie's already in the bottom of the pool. And a minute, 2 minutes, can cause permanent, massive brain damage if the child survives it. Then you've got a brain dead child. Do you get the sense of how serious this is?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't know the first thing about what you're looking for when you're looking out that apartment window. And you couldn't get there in time. And what are you just going to run out and leave the baby? You know, I mean, you have got to make a proficient plan. If you want to let your son go swim, you know, you need to have a trusted, designated person to watch him. No one will ever watch your child like you do or like you should. You know, nobody
Yes,
has more of a vested interest in protecting that child than what you should have. And the more people that are in a swimming pool, the more likely it is that a child can drown. So you are in an apartment complex, and on a weekend, any given weekend, There could probably be a lot of people around that pool, a lot of kids jumping in and out, splashing. The water is disturbed. You can't see what's on the bottom. That is when a child is more likely to drown than not. So you are absolutely going to take a water safety class, not only for Zane's sake, but all your children's sake. Mainly for your sake, Ms. Luera, so something tragic doesn't happen to your children and to you that is life-changing.
Yes, ma'am.
I've had friends who have had to go on with their lives living with that. I've had grandparent friends who have had to live the rest of their lives because they turned their back for a second. And they were good, responsible people and knew better. I mean, they had the facts. They knew that a child can drown in seconds, but it still happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So the drinking with your kids in your care needs to stop. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not concerned about it. I am, particularly with a baby in the house. But, you know, having people over to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I mean, with the kids there, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. In fact, it's going to be part of this court order that there won't be any late night visits from people in the home when the children are
Yes.
there. You can do what you want on your own time, you know, but when your kids are there, you don't need anybody there. They need your full attention. And yeah, they may be sleeping most of that time, but they really need your full attention.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
I mean, you know, if you had enough to drink, there's a real concern at 5 a.m. in the morning. If you've had even a few drinks, you know, you fall asleep and maybe you are sleeping more soundly than normal and there's a fire. You know, are you capable of coming to, rounding up 4 children, getting them out of that apartment? I mean, I know we all think we're superhuman in those situations, but we're not. You know, we all want to jump into action like Wonder Woman and Superman, but we aren't.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we're human and we have limitations as to what we can do. All right. I'm obviously finding that there's been conduct that constitutes abuse or neglect, or certainly runs the considerable risk of that happening in the future. So I'm ordering the services. I will order the water safety class through the American Red Cross. No late night visits by people in the home for social reasons. You know, that's not acceptable.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a children's bedtime. They don't need adult. I mean, you know, you had a lot of music playing in the background, and you know, you got kids that's a time of night and morning. They should have been asleep still. You know, that's not an environment for kids to have a quality night's sleep. I get it. Maybe it's summertime and all that, but that's just become lifestyle habits and choices, and it is not conducive for children to have a good night's sleep and get up, go to school the next day, or do whatever they have going on the next day. So I don't know how old you are, but you know, you tell me you've been a mother for 13 years. So it's you know, it's time to make your children the priority and you know, grow up. having children means making some sacrifices. So
Yes.
I can't tell you how upset I am about what I heard today. I'll see you back October 7th, 2025 on a 9 o'clock docket. It'll be a check-in hearing to see how things are going. Swim season isn't over. The first thing I want you to do is to take that water safety class. Number one,
Yes,
first
ma'am.
thing I want her to do. All right. I'll see everybody back October 7th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be the last case we have on our Potter County docket. So court will be in recess. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your week.
I don't think I have anything else before Your Honor this week. So with that, I will sign off and see you next week, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, it's advanced family law. I know a lot of folks are down there, so I hope everybody has a good remainder of their week.
Thank you, Judge.